Now, this is a last session. Now I'm giving you strategies on how to use the gender language, right? Or gender inclusive language, that is. There's a last section here. We're almost there. So now, you now have the framework, right? To harness the power, to support the power of language, to create a sense of belonging in your relationship and on your team and your company, right? The first step is to be intentional and thoughtful in choosing words that move beyond a stereotypical and binary use of words. So here's a framework I have shared with thousands of people. In fact, I remember a web meeting with a person who had been one of my seminars earlier, and they waved a paper at me and said, I still use the list you gave me, and that was really meaningful to me. Okay, so anyways, the list highlighted words typically describe communal or language and agentic, or the language of I, right? This has been like powerful tool for many, and I hope it will help you in your own journey in supporting others, right? So why is this list important? Because when we rely heavily on words from just one category, we may unconsciously reinforce the binary way of seeing the world in the others, right? So a person is either a driver or a team player, right? Either thoughtful or outspoken, right? Yet you likely experience, and as we have discussed in this presentation, people are more expansive and than an either or binary. So here's a strategy. I'm gonna give you the strategy you can use. So I want you to use the words from both columns. And when you describe an accomplishment, like job requirements or performance evaluation, or when you introduce someone else, or you write your own bio on a like LinkedIn page or Facebook or whatever, this will help you move beyond a binary way of describing people, talents, or skills. And this will also help you see more people, and they are more likely to feel welcomed by you, right? So here's a list, right? Like communal, like the language of 우리들, right? Thoughtful, compassionate, collaborative, agency-driven, and also on the right, the language of I, right? 나, right? Confident, influential driver. So people sometimes ask me which words to use first. So I think of the idea of anchoring, right? So I'll share the list with you later on if you want to. But the word that you use first anchor the rest of the word in this meaning. So for example, like if I say someone is supportive, like warm and compassionate, daring, outspoken, or influential, my use of the words supportive, warm, compassionate anchors the description and color your sense of the person more strongly than the word that follow, right? So I always suggest like anchoring words for all in a similar way to prevent people from accidentally anchoring differently based on gender, right? And if I am trying to convey authority, I might anchor on agentic words, right? Like, or and if I trying to convey collaboration, I might anchor a communal words, right? So here's the exercise I want you to do. So go back to the list of words you use to describe yourself. Remember in the first time I asked you to write something about yourself, right? Go back to that list and uh, notice if your words are primarily from one of these lists right here. Anybody? Like 아까 적으신 거 있지 않으세요? 맨 처음에? Yeah. Which so which category does your words belong? Is it communal or agentic? we, or I? Well, so think about that, right? It really tells about yourself, right? So you should like notice that if your words are primarily from one of the list, and if it feels authentic, to think about like balancing like agentic or communal words describe you, and write that down and use it when appropriate. So as a bonus exercise, take a look at your profile on like Kakao Talk or Facebook or whatever social media profile that you might have, and determine a thoughtful and strategic mix of words, right? So if you given an endorsement, like the letter writers I spoke about in the first part of this presentation, make sure your advocacy matches your intention. So to strategically use words from the list that empower your endorsement, right?